Hello everyone. So now in this video we will see how we can program and execute that program to move the robot. We will basically use the basic three instructions that we learned in the previous video: move L, move J and move C to move the robot. So for that let's create a new solution with our robot. Create. Select the library. Okay, our robot is loaded. Let's try to add the end effector. Maybe we can add just the same end effector that we had last time and attach the end effector. So you can right click the tool end effector and then select attach to the robot and then say yes. Okay, so the end effector is also attached. So let's try to import the table, the propeller table again. Okay, now we will try to move our robot using the teach pendant. So to open the teach pendant, again you have to go to the controller and use flex pendant. So our flex pendant is open. So let's go to the controller, bring it to manual mode. Okay, this is okay. Close this and enable it. Okay, we will move our robot in Cartesian mode. Let's move this robot. Okay, now let's move in linear mode. This is G positive. Okay, now you already know how to jog the robot. Okay, so to start a new program, we will go to the window button and go to program editor. So go to program editor. So when we go to program editor, you will see a screen like this. So it creates a main procedure and it has a comment add your code here. So this is a module called module 1, like we explained. So this is the main procedure. If you want to change your comment, you can use the inbuilt keyboard, or for now we will just add instruction. So you can click on add instruction. So which instruction we want. So let's say we will use move J. So you can see move J, move C, move L that we learned in the previous video. So let's say move J. Where do you want your instruction? So I want it below the comment. Okay, so let's see here. So now you can see we have included move J So move J, and the rope target is star. So star means it is this position here right now. It will always take the current position of the robot. If we want to change this position, then we can jog our robot. Let's say we will jog it more and just modify position. So if we modify it, it will now change the position of this star. So the position of the star is this position, and the velocity of movement is 1000, and the zone is 50. If you want to change these things, you can click the values that you want to change. So now you can see there are multiple options for us. So we will just stick with zone 50 for now, or let's say we'll stick with zone 100. Okay, so let's add one more. Let's go to this position again. So if we want to change something, we can click on it. Let's say I want to name this, so go to new, and then okay, the name of this position is P10. So I will say okay and okay. So now our command is to move our robot using joint move to position P10 with velocity this, with zone data this, and this 2. So let's jog our robot to one of the point here. Okay, now we can add an instruction. Add instruction move J. So now it will create a new name for the rope target. So the point, this point is P20. So now our robot will move from P10 to P20 in joint mode. So let's add another instruction, but now with move L. If we add move L, so it will also create a new position, but the position is again the same. So I mean the position of P20 and P30 is same. So there is two way we can add instruction. One is we jog our robot to the place we want and then add the instruction, or we can add the instruction first. Okay, for this I added the instruction move L, and then we will jog our robot. We will jog our robot, and I can just modify the position of P30. Now P30 will go here. Okay, let's see. Okay, I will just want to move J again, and instead of P40 I will go to P10 again. So right now I just have 4 commands. So the first command in line 29 moves our robot to P10, and then it will bring it down to P20, P30, and then it will again move our robot back to P10. So let's see how we can execute this command. So to execute the command, we have to go to this window, debug, and in debug you will see pp2 main. So the pp here means program pointer. So we will bring our program pointer to the main procedure. Okay, so do you want to bring your pp to main? Yes. So now you can see our program pointer is here. So our program pointer is inside the main function. So to execute the instructions, or the program, let's see. Okay, we can use the button, play button will run our instructions sequentially, or we can just use one instruction at a time. Let's check with one instruction at a time. So it will move to P10, and next instruction move to P20. So whenever we want to check whether the program that we wrote works as expected or not, we can use this button. Or if we want to go through all the instructions at the same time, we can use this button, play. So it will move our robot sequentially. Okay, we can stop using this. So again, if we want, we can add more. Okay, we'll just bring our robot to P10. Okay, now our robot is in P30. Let's say now I want to create a circle around this propeller table. So to create a circle, we already know we have to define a midpoint and the end point for the circle. Let's say we will move our robot to somewhere around okay, we will add an instruction move J. So move J will bring to P50. P50 is this position. So we can add a new instruction move C. So the move C, this P60 should be the center point. So if we want to make a semicircle around here, around the table, then it should be around here. So let's move our robot to okay, let's say we want this, we will set this as our midpoint. So for that we will select P60, this is the midpoint, and we will modify position. So now it will modify the position of P60 to be this point right now. And for P70 we want to bring our robot to the end point of the so let's say this is the end point of the semicircle. So we can set P60 to be the modify position and modify. And again we will add a new move C, and we will add the new midpoint. Okay, let's say it's around approximately here, modify, and the end point in this case should be P50 because we started from P50. We can just go and select P50. Okay, let's say we will again move J to home 10. Let's go to point 10. Okay, okay, now let's check this program how. Okay, from here debug pp2 main, yes. Okay, 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 let's start. So it will go move Z, move L, come back, go to this position, make a circle around the table, and come back to this one. So if you see here, the point that we thought was exactly this point and this point, but it doesn't really reach to that point, and then it just drifts off when it is near to that point. So it is because we have set the value of zone. So you can see the value of zone is 100. So if we want to change the value, you can select zone and go to fine. Okay, so now let's change this to be fine for every case. This to be fine. Normally when we write the program, if we select fine for the first instruction, it will automatically select fine for all the following instructions. But now we are changing the value that was already written, so that's why we have to do it one by one. So now let's try to execute this program, and let's see if you will I will go to the pp2 main. Okay, now let's run this program. Okay, so now you can see it reaches to this point exactly. So previously it was just around these points and then drifting away from that. So this is how we can use move C, move J and move L. So let's now go through how we can use offset function. So for that, let's stop this program and we will start a new program. To start a new program, we have to go to tasks and programs and go to file and select new program. So if you want to save, you can save this program that we have written just now, or else I will just not save it. Okay, so this is the new program. Okay, now let's see how we can use the offset function. Let's say I have a task to weld around the letter P, let's say. So for that, let me move my robot to the initial position to start with. Okay, this seems fine. So add instruction, move J to this rope target. Let's change the name of this target, new P10. Okay, so our new point is P10. So this is our starting point. So I want to create a letter P. So for letter P, I have to, from this starting point, I have to move in linear joint. So for that, let me add a new instruction, move L, below this. So move L, the target, for the target, instead of using point, I will use the function. So you can select the functions from here and then you will see offset written here. So I will select offset function. So how can we use offset function? We already saw in the previous video. There are 4 arguments. The first one is the point from which to offset. So I want to offset from point 10, and the next 3 arguments are x, y and z. So x in x direction. Okay, in x direction I want to move 400 units. So to change this, you have to select the exp, go to edit and only selected. So for here you will select 100, we are going 400. Okay, and in y direction, nothing in y direction, and in z direction it will be nothing again. So now let me show you one picture. Okay, let's say our P10 is here, so we have moved 400, so we have moved until this point. So we want to move in a circular motion to complete our letter P. So to move to the circular motion, we have to select 2 points. Right now our robot is in this position and we want to end our semicircle around here. So our midpoint should be around here. So width should be 200 plus 100 in x direction and 100 in negative y direction, and the end point should be just 200 from the P10. Okay, so let's see how we can use the offset to create a circle from starting from this position. So we will use the command move C. The midpoint should be, let's define the midpoint should be offset function from P10. So from P10 the midpoint lies from this picture, the midpoint lies from P10, it lies in positive x 300 units and in negative y 100. 300, edit, only selected, 300. Okay, in y it's negative 100. Edit, only selected, negative 100. Okay, and in z direction we don't want to move at all. Z. Okay. So this is for the midpoint, and for the end point. Okay, so we selected this one, cancel. Let's go and select the endpoint. So the endpoint, again we want our endpoint be defined from offset functions. Select offset from P10 itself. So let's see this picture again. So P1, the endpoint should be around here, so it is only 200 units in x direction. So for other direction it's just 0. So we can add from edit, only selected, 200. Okay, expression for y is 0 and for g is 0 again. Okay, so after this point we want our robot to go to point P1 again, let's say. So for that, add instruction, move L, go to P10. Okay, so let's try to run this program. So this will create the letter P. So this much for this week. The task for you is to write the initials of your name, given name. So if your name is John Smith, so you have to create a program that writes the character J and S. So you can use what we learned today. You can either use move J, move L, move C, and also try to include at least one offset function in your program. So try to capture a video by writing your initials. It can be 2 different videos for your first name and for your last name, or if you can do it in the same program to write both your first name, the initial from the first name and the last name, you can do it in the same video as well and upload to Google Classroom.